But you know who is a fraud? Miami.
Hmm.
Because you were 10.5 point favorites at,
We called this.
at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. We called this one. I told you, be careful. This is not going to be easy. And you called it. Holy cow. Like, guys, like, if you were, so we have this group chat, me, Tyler, Drew, and Jeremiah, our two Ohio State
That
guys.
was before the game
Um,
started. I think I sent
before
that
the game
text.
started, Tyler says it would be the most Ryan Day thing possible if Michigan beats Ohio State and then Kyle McCord beats Miami for Syracuse. And I'll be damned if that didn't happen because Syracuse overcame a 21-point deficit. They were down 3 touchdowns. Miami was like, it's over. We're not a fraud. We're good. Look at us. Blah, blah. You have lost to two unranked teams and you don't have any wins that, like, to me, this is just me. If I'm on the committee, there is no way in hell Miami makes this field over South Carolina.
They can't. They shouldn't.
How like, what's their win? What, give me Miami's signature win this year?
No,
They
yeah,
have none. They have
have
no
none.
signature win. Virginia Tech, Cal, Duke, Louisville. Louisville's probably about it. That's about the best they can muster. Is they beat Louisville.
It's
Like,
I
that's their win.
shout out. Yeah, I was just like screwing. I was just messing around when I said that because I was like, well, I I felt that Q's could beat Miami, but
Hmm.
the Ohio State losing to Michigan was not even on my radar. But shout out Kyle McCord. Dude, the tweet is all time. Just tweeting Clemson football. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So
Oh my
much.
god. The worst part is though, Clemson still lost.
Yeah,
So it's
Clemson.
like it's like this very like they're like you can hear the truck beeping as it's backing its way into the ACC championship games. Like beep,
Yeah, right.
beep. Get out the way. This guy can't see. Um, oh my gosh.
Oh my
Oh,
god. Yeah, that was. I
so
mean, shout out to me for at least I was right about something this weekend. Good
yeah.
lord.
That's right. So Miami is a fraud, like we told y'all. We told y'all weeks ago when they lost to Georgia Tech. No, it was before they lost to Georgia Tech. We told you they were a fraud.
It was
Then
when they
after
were.
that,
It's when they barely escaped Louisville. Is when
yes.
we called it.
Then when they lost to Georgia Tech, we were like, we told you they were a
I
fraud.
mean,
And then y'all
people
still
do have.
argued with me.
People
Y'all
might have a
still
hard
argued
time with
with me.
Georgia Tech. So let's not. Let's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Georgia Tech might be a good team. Everybody,
I
let's.
know. Hey, but you didn't lose, did you?
No, we didn't.
And I'll say this too. Like, yes, you had a hard time with Georgia Tech, but it was nowhere near as ugly as what
No,
Miami did. Like Miami
they
got
got beat
handled
down.
by Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very different animal there. Um, and so you came back and argued with us after we called him a fraud after the Georgia Tech loss. You were still wrong because this happened. Syracuse, you lost to Syracuse.
Which they.
Granted,
I feel
it's
like
in the
Syracuse.
Carrier Dome, and
Yeah.
Syracuse isn't that bad. And they had that one game against Pitt where McCord threw like 8 pick sixes or
Right,
something.
like Syracuse should be higher up in the ACC rankings. They just
Should
kind
be
of
better,
they should be
but they
better.
aren't.
They're not.
And it is what it is.
Mhm.
But you know who is in the ACC championship game? The Pony Express.
Mhm.
SMU
Can't say
just
nothing to them.
getting it done. Yeah.
Cannot. We tried. We put them
Hmm.
on. Hey, gotta win these, and they sure did. Like there's
Right.
nothing we can. Good for them. Hey, I think SMU. Well, if we're being honest, I think like Clemson was played their way out of the ACC championship and then right back into it. So I think
Yeah.
Clemson. I think Clemson realistically. I don't know. I don't know if it's Clemson or Miami. It's hard to say what should or shouldn't be the case there, but we have our ACC championship set regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So should Miami be in there? I guess like they're better than Clemson,
But they're not
maybe.
better than SMU.
Are they though? Are they? But are they even? Are we sure that they're better than Clemson though? Let's
I
be
don't
real
know.
about that.
I don't know.
Clemson, Clemson has a loss to South Carolina and a loss to Georgia,
Yeah.
and then sandwiched in there they have one ACC loss. Okay, Miami has no wins against anybody good.
They had Florida when they played Florida when they
They
sucked.
played Florida when Florida was terrible. when Graham Mertz was quarterback and Florida played like crap, nowhere near the Florida that's playing now. Um, they barely beat Virginia Tech, barely beat Duke. And granted, I know they pulled away from Duke, but that game was like tight.
Hmm.
And then
Barely
they
beat
pulled away
Cal.
late. They had to scrap their way to come back from like down 3 touchdowns against Cal. They were down like 10 points or 2 touchdowns to Virginia Tech. They should have lost to Louisville and squeaked that one out. But now you did lose to Georgia Tech and Syracuse, so I don't want to hear it anymore. Miami's out of there.